Brother lads, welcome back to the Cossy podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to brand new video. The new season is here. We're just 17 days away from kickoff of the Premier League, and Arsenal will take on Wolverhampton Wanderers in the first game. Mikel Arteta has been asked a couple of questions. Are Arsenal ready to win the Premier League? Are Arsenal willing to go and win the Premier League over Manchester City this season? And the manager has said, we have done everything apart from winning the league. So right now, our next step, our next mission is to go and win the league. We don't have any excuses. We don't have any deficiencies in our squad. In this video, I want us to do a reaction to Mikel Arteta's words. He said, we have to get 114 points to win the league. First and foremost, do we really need 114 points? And can we get 114 points? It's difficult. No manager has ever won every game of the league. It has never happened. It's only Arsene Wenger who actually went unbeaten. But Mikel says you don't need to be unbeaten just. You also have to go every single game with a win. You have to go out of every single game with a win. So is that what we need? That's number one. And secondly, how prepared are we? That's a very big question, because a few clubs are prepared. Arsenal have only signed one player. Was it about signings? Was it about us getting together and regrouping after that failure? And why did we fail to win the Premier League last season? That's what I want us to talk about in this video. Now, first and foremost, a look back at last season. If I ask you right now, why did we fail to win the league last season? There are a couple of answers you would say, there are a couple of reasons you would say, but I'm going to stick to my reasons. I'm going to stick to my answers. I think we failed to deliver when it mattered most. And that was the Aston Villa game where Arsenal lost 2-0. That was the game. If we had won that game, if we win that game, we are champions. Now, last season for me, I don't think Arsenal put so many feet wrong. We conceded very few goals. We scored a high amount of goals as well. But it was about Manchester City. It wasn't really about Arsenal. It was about Manchester City. So you cannot really say Arsenal were poor last season. You can't say Arsenal really bottled it last season. It was about how good Manchester City were as compared to how weak we were or the mistakes we made. And I'm not trying to say that Mikel and the team should be exonerated for us not winning the league. I'm not trying to say that. What I'm trying to say here is you look at the competitor and you look at the competition we had last season. I don't think Manchester City were ever going to put a foot wrong ever since that Aston Villa game. So two reasons. I think Manchester City were really good at finishing off because they last lost the game in December. And that means that in their last 20 games, they didn't lose a single game. And secondly, Arsenal not winning the Aston Villa game. Now, a few people have said that we could have beaten Manchester City, and maybe we should have beaten Manchester City in the second leg. We were on form, they were out of form, and they came into that game thinking, if Arsenal beat us in this game, we are finished. If Arsenal, pick up 3 points here, the league is over. And again, Arsenal went to the Etihad, and we went there not to win, but to pick up a point. So probably if we had picked up 3 points against Man City at the Etihad, that would have been a very, very different conversation. I remember the Leandro Trossard game. I watched that goal once again. I watched that chance once again. Leandro Trossard threw on goal, played through by Martin Odegaard, and he has Gabriel Martinelli right on side. If Trossard plays that ball right through to Gabriel Martinelli, Arsenal score. And maybe that's a very, very different conversation. Maybe we're having a different conversation this season. Anyway, last season, it's over. We didn't win, but it was a milestone. Arsenal accumulated 89 points. Arsenal conceded 29 goals. There is nothing better you want from a Premier League season from your team. Now, Mikel Arteta has said that for us to win the Premier League, we have to go and get 114 points. Let's talk about that as well. I think Mikel, hypothetically, what he means here is you have to go in every game with the mentality that we want 3 points. And if you aim for the sky, you will hit the rock. But if you aim for the rock, you'll never hit the sky. So what he's trying to say there is, I want my team to set out for the new season, to go out there thinking and knowing that we have to win every single game that comes. Every single game is going to count. Because for me, last season again, why I'm in support of Mikel Arteta partially. You look at some of the points we dropped. Fulham, home and away. We dropped points to Fulham, home and away. We dropped points to West Ham at the Emirates Stadium. We dropped points to Liverpool, a Liverpool side that wasn't that good really. We dropped points to Aston Villa, home and away. Those are games we are going to look back at and we will say, damn, these are small teams that we should have beat home and away and we should have picked up 3 points. And Manchester City, that's what they did. They got Fulham, beat them home and away. Got West Ham, beat them home and away. And you remember that although we tried to pray for clubs like Tottenham, it never happened because City know and City always register their 3 points at such very weak clubs. So Arsenal need to go into each game this season not thinking about how big the opponent is, but how can we get the 3 points. It doesn't matter how small the team is. It doesn't matter how big the team is. Go and try to get 3 points. That is going to be the mission. So I agree with Mikel. 114 points must be the aim, but really we don't need 114 points. The reason as to why Mikel says you need 114 points is this. First and foremost for him, he knows that beating Manchester City home and away, that doesn't win you the league. It does not, right? Unless you beat Man City home and away, unless you lose to Man City home and away, and you win the rest of the other games as well. Even if you beat City home and away, but you fail to win some games along the road, Man City will capitalize. But I think the right calculations and the right mathematics would be Arsenal should go out there, at least get a point against Man City at the Etihad, beat Manchester City at the Emirates Stadium, and try and win each and every other game. That should be the correct mathematics. Now, do I think Manchester City are going to be as strong? Yes, they are going to be as strong because for them, they have that structure as a team. They have that, cohesion, that chemistry as a team. They have that skeleton that they've built for quite some time. The likes of Bernardo are still there. Rodri is still there. Kevin De Bruyne is not going. And Ederson might as well stay. So they still have their structure. They still have the backbone of their team. So there will be challenges, and they're the team to beat. We are not the team to beat it. I'm going to get to how prepared Arsenal are for the next season, or for this coming season. But the top priority is still to beat Manchester City. And as long as Pep Guardiola is still in the Premier League, as long as Pep Guardiola is still at City, our priority is going to be, can we beat City? How do we beat City? How do you get over Manchester City? Liverpool, I would put them among challengers, but I think they will comfortably come third or fourth, around there. So I think the title race again is going to be between Arsenal and Man City. But this is our chance to do what Liverpool did during the lockdown. This is our chance to go and, get to like 99 points while Manchester City is on 89 points. We have to open up a gap between ourselves and City. Otherwise, if we think that we're going to go toe-to-toe with Man City, we win this weekend, we go on top, they win the next weekend, they go on top, forget it. The dopamine they actually thrive on is when they see the table changing and they're involved. You cannot give Manchester City any chance. And it's a very bad season because it starts with Arsenal having very difficult games. You have City among your first games, you have Tottenham among your first games, and you have Aston Villa among your first games, and most of those games are away from home. That is good because it means that in the return legs, they're coming at the Emirates Stadium, but it also means if you lose these games earlier on in the season, if you don't win these games earlier on in the season, you could be 8 points, 9 points behind Man City before you know it, and it's game over. So, yeah, the competition is Man City, the team to beat is Man City, and they will be there. Now, how prepared are we? Yes, the manager wants 114 points. Credit to Edu for building this squad because without, Edu building this team, there's no way we'd be talking about 114 points. Like the Arsenal of Squadron Mustafi and David Luiz, that cannot get you 100 points. That cannot get you 80 points. It can't. But this new Arsenal team has got to 89 points, and they're still showing that with a few reinforcements, we can still go up there. So how prepared are we? Now, in terms of transfers, our preparation is at zero by the time of recording this video. Our transfers have been slow, and they've been really uninspiring for a team that is looking to outsit Man City, for a team that is looking to change the status quo, for a team that is looking to change the normal. Our transfers have been uninspiring. They have made one signing at Manchester City, and we have made one signing at Arsenal. There have been excuses, there have been reasons, but you cannot tell me that Manchester United, after hiring Dan Ashworth, they have now signed Joshua Zirkzee, they have now signed Lenny Yoro, and they're working on the Manuel Ugarte deal. That is their third signing of the summer. And yet at Arsenal, we're struggling to get signings in. I thought we had fixed that. So in terms of preparation, transfers, I'm going to give Arsenal a 3 out of 10. If Mikel Arteta needs 3 players or 4 players, a goalkeeper, a defender, an attacker, and a midfielder, and on the first day of August, 17 days to the start of the Premier League, you have only signed 1 out of 4 clear weaknesses. Clear weaknesses. I'm really not going to defend anyone here. I'm really not going to defend anyone, because a proper club, a serious club like Real Madrid has already got Kylian Mbappe. Guys, what if we were signing Kylian Mbappe? How long would that deal take? So transfer-wise, I don't think we have done enough. I don't think we have done brilliantly the way we used to. But that might actually not matter. That might not change the way Arsenal approach the new season. Reason is Ricardo Calafiori, the new signing that is coming in, played at the Euros. Mikel Merino, the midfielder that we want, has played at the Euros. And a couple of other players that we want to bring in have been at the Euros, which means that even if you sign them, they will have the same level of fatigue, and they have the same level of burnout and tired legs as the players already in the side. So maybe transfers don't really matter that much, but for squad depth and preparation and getting everything done quickly and underway, I think for transfers is a 3 out of 10. In terms of preparations, early preparations, pre-season, 10 out of 10, right? 10 out of 10, and this is the reason. Mikel Arteta got a group of players that were not involved at the Euros, and he took them in Spain, in Marbella, and they already started their training before our official preseason. And you can see that some players like Odegaard, some players like Ben White, their fitness levels, and Timber, their fitness levels is kind of, very, very, very good. I can also see the likes of Fabio Vieira and Ethan Nwaneri. It feels like Arsenal started a little bit earlier. And I liked that, and I'll give Mikel Arteta a 10 out of 10 there. I think our preseason, from its timing to the opponents we are playing, it is spot on. We first played Leyton Orient. We beat them 2-0. Then we played Bournemouth 1-1. Then we played Manchester United. We beat them 2-1. And tonight, we play Liverpool. That and then we'll play Leverkusen and Lyon. That shows you that there is a hierarchy in terms of power and in terms of quality that we're trying to bring down. So you start with Leyton Orient, then Bournemouth, then Man United. We are preparing for a mixed season. Leyton Orient helps you with fitness and game management. And then Man United is the rivalry, it's the quality game, it's the difficult game. Liverpool, it's the high-end game. So I love the way we are prepared in preseason. I like the games we have put up. They are not easy games. They're difficult games, right? And that will prepare us for the tough season that starts, especially at the beginning of the season. In terms of starting early, I think we will see a couple of players missing from the start of this campaign. Maybe Rice, maybe Saliba, maybe Saka. They might not start the season. And that's why Mikel Arteta said, let me start with a few that can actually be present at the moment. So in terms of preparation, it's okay. Injuries. I don't know. We are lucky. Gabriel Jesus has managed this injury very well. Jakub Kivio is not an injury player. Zinchenko, who is injury prone, is available. I think we'll have most of our players available for the start of the season. Tomiyasu is a bad one, because with Tomiyasu, he's one of those that you would say he would start the season. With the likes of, Gabriel still tired, Saliba still tired, Tomiyasu would have the chance to start the season. But he's injured now. That means that Saliba has to come back quickly, and the rest of the lads have to come back quickly. But in terms of preparation, I think we're okay. In terms of selling, maybe, that's where I feel like, why do we still have some players that are really going to go? And why are they playing? Like, Rhys Nelson is still playing a big part in our preseason. Edin Ketia, I can see his role is diminishing in our preseason, which means that the manager knows he's leaving. Emil Smith-Rowe is gone, but I would love to see the likes of Ramsdale leave. I would love to see all players that are not going to be here next season leave. So in terms of general preparation, I'm confident. I'm really, really confident. Of course, I'll be doing my prediction videos, but in reaction to Mikel Arteta that we need 114 points, we might actually need 114. Or we might actually we might need to act as if we need 114 points. Let me know if you agree.